All right, so here in this question, the first thing I'm going to do is, as always, just read the question sentence first. Right here. How much did she earn in total over both days? Okay, sounds good. So how much did we earn total over both days? So what I see here first is that Sophia earns $17.50 per hour, and then she works 6 hours on Friday and 6.25 hours on Saturday. How much did she earn in total over both days? Okay, sounds good. So what I'm going to do in this question here is I'm going to go over some pretty solid test taking strategy here. Everyone, when we take a look at the final answers, A through D, are these answers really close together or are they pretty far apart? What's your opinion on these? Are they pretty close together or pretty far apart? Yeah, I would agree. These are pretty far apart. We have from 200 to 400 to 100 to 30. Yeah, they're pretty far apart. So, what does that mean we can do? What that tells me I can do, everyone, is I can kind of get away with a little bit of estimation. And let me show you what I mean by that and how that's going to save you a lot of time. Let me show you. So, here's what I know. Sophia earns $17.50 per hour. Everyone, given the word per, what operation are we going to do with her hourly rate and the amount of time that she works to get the total earnings? How much she earns in total? Yeah, that'll be multiplication. So for example, everybody, if we're earning $17.50 per hour, I would multiply by 6 hours to see what I got on Friday. I would multiply by 6.25 hours to see what I got on Saturday. However, everybody, if you know your mental math, you know that multiplying by both of these numbers individually and then adding them up, it's the same as just multiplying by their sum, 12.25. It's 12.25 hours. And so we can just multiply by one number instead of both individually and adding it all up. So that's practice test tip number 1. When you are multiplying the same rate by different times, just add the times together, then multiply. Now, the other thing that I'm going to help you realize is going back to what we said earlier, these answer choices are really far apart. So instead of me multiplying by that 0.25 at the end, because if you take a look, 17.50 multiplied by 12.25, everybody, I had a great day so far, and I'm not going to ruin my day by trying to do this multiplication. I don't like that at all. I'm going to say, hey, let me just guesstimate a little bit because these answers are so far apart that this answer will be close enough to the correct answer. It'll be close enough. Let me show you. 0 times 2, 0. 5 times 2 is 10. Carry the 1. 7 times 2 is 14. Carry the 1 is 15. Then 1 times 2 is 2. Carry the 1 is 3. There's the first row. Now we'll work on the second one with the 1 there. So we'll put a 0 to get things started. 1 times 0 is 0. 5 times 1 is 5. 7 times 1. And then 1 times 1. Add that all together. And we get 0, 0, 10. Carry the 1. Then we get 1 plus 3 plus 7 is 11. Carry that 1. And then we have 2. My party people, how many decimal places are we going to bring back given what we saw here? Yeah, we're going to bring 2 back. Earlier, if I would have done the 0.25 as well, it would have been 4 total, but here it's just 2. 1, 2. We'll bring that back over here. 1, 2. So we get approximately $210. My party people, which answer is the closest to $210? And there you go. A. This problem is a trap problem where it traps you into thinking that you have to do the pure multiplication. Multiply by 6, then multiply by 6.25, and then spend all that time doing all that arithmetic just to see that the answer is far enough away from the others to where we could have estimated if we wanted to. My party people, does that make a little more sense than before we continue? And let's give this next one a shot. So I typically get a question like this in most classes where we ask, hey, coach, are the problems on the test going to be as easy as what we see here? So there's a two-part answer, and I'm not trying to give you a runaround. It's just the honest truth. So the concept that you see on the screen right here will absolutely be on the test. And that's what we're training on today. I want to make sure that you are comfortable with the concept and understand how to work forward and backwards. Now, my party people, can we have the same exact context with slightly harder numbers? Is that possible? Yeah, absolutely. All we are trying to understand here is how we interpret the context to get a proper setup. The numbers, they can change. I can make them as hard as possible or as easy as possible. But really what we're trying to learn today is that understanding of how to work forward and backwards without having to concentrate so hard on the size of those numbers. So that's why I do what I do. Just want to make sure that, it makes sense so that way we're all bought in. So here we are. The question's asking, if the store stocks 300 new TV models, what is the number of 4K televisions? So right there, we want the number of 4K televisions. That's really what we want through and through. So when we read the information, here's what it says. It says, at a local electronics store, 30% of the new TV models are 4K televisions. So again, just write that down or think about it in your head, and you'll see how you can translate this into math. Let me highlight it here for you. Right there. That's what we're going to translate. So 30% of the new TVs are, so equal 4K TVs. So 30% of the new TVs are 4K TVs. So with that, let's replace the numbers that we have. It says right here, the store stocks 300 new TVs. Sounds good. The number of new TVs will replace that with 300, and we're ready to calculate. 30% times 300 equals the number of 4K TVs. With that, are we ready to calculate, my party people? Because this will turn into 0.3 multiplied by 300 equals the number of 4K TVs. Yep, and now all we got to do is multiply. And like I said, if you wanted to do that little mental math trick, you can just move one decimal here, one decimal there, and that'll turn into 3 times 30, which is 90, giving you the answer much faster. Or you can just do 300 multiplied by 0.3, and you'll still get the same answer. 0 times 3, 0 times 3, 3 times 3, and then we just bring one decimal back, making it 90, and we're all done. But either way, we'll still get the same correct answer. One is just going to save you a couple of moments of time, which we know will add up in the grand scheme of things, making the correct answer A, 90. My party people, are we having a good time so far? Are we ready to continue taking it up a notch? Right on, my party people. Right on, right on. So let's go ahead and move it on forward here to the next problem here in just a moment. So let's go ahead and move it over.